Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of me and Jane Z. Before we jump into today's episode, I would just like to remind you that if you like the topics that we discuss here, to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to drop a comment down below about what you think about the topics we discussed today, or any other topics you would like me to discuss in future episodes. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have the notification bell on so that you know when new videos go up. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into today's episode. Okay guys, so it's finally time for another episode of me and Jane Z. Yes, I realize that I have been gone for a while. If you're watching on YouTube, you know that on Saturday I posted a video kind of explaining why I've been gone for a while. So if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, just basically explain, give a little bit of an update. But I'm back now, hopefully on a more consistent basis. I hope. I'm gonna see how things go. But yeah, I really wanted to make this episode because I've been kind of going through this thought process for a couple of weeks, trying to kind of find, you know, the answers, but it's not really something that can be answered by just one person. I feel like I need multiple perspectives to kind of form a full, complete opinion, and I think that's why I'm doing this, so that you guys can tell me what your thoughts are and then help me, you know, get the entire story to kind of make sense in my brain. So for this to make sense to you, I'm going to kind of give you something to relate it to. So everyone remembers high school, right? Some of you may still be in high school, but I think all of us still remember high school, right? Some of us don't want to remember high school, but you know, we all had to go through that part of our lives. And if you guys can remember, it may be different now. I don't know, I haven't been in high school for a while. But back when I was in high school, we still had the, like, you know, groups, the cliques, if you will, you know, where everyone had like the sort of group that they related to, the group that they got along with, and that is the group, you know, you were kind of a part of. But there's always that one group, you know, what do we call them? The cool people group, or the popular kids, which in like the movies look very glamorous, but in real life it's not really that spectacular if you look at it from like now, like if you get older and you look at it from now, it's like it's not really that spectacular, and in the movies they make it look really glamorous, but it's really not. In real life it's not that fantastic and dramatic. The movies try to sell their movies, so they need to make it extra spectacular and dramatic. But anyways, getting off point here. So you had the cool people group, and I think a majority of people, obviously there are exceptions, really wanted to be a part of that group. You know, you wanted to be a part of the group that did all the fun things that all the teachers liked, that had the fun parties and everyone liked them. You know, it's for a majority of people in high school, I believe, you want to be in that sort of group. Like I said, there are always exceptions, but I think for a majority, you know, that's kind of the thing. And what you had to do is you just had to do what the cool kids were doing. You had to do what the popular kids were doing. You know, had to wear what the popular kids were wearing. You know, the trends. We know a lot about trends now with social media. So if you just do the trends, then you're going to be a part of the cool kids. And that's why they always gave us the speech, you know, in high school about don't succumb to peer pressure. Don't do anything you're uncomfortable with just to fit in with the group. And that's a good lesson to learn in high school, but it's not always easy in high school because our brains are not completely developed in high school. However you want to go about it, it's true. Your brain is not completely developed at 16. Sorry to burst your bubble. I can speak from experience. I think many of us have done stupid things at the age of 16 or in our high school career because our brains aren't fully developed. So telling a high school student don't succumb to peer pressure or don't do anything you're uncomfortable with because you want to fit in, it's good to tell them, but it's not always, you know, that easy for a high school student. Some people do it, some people can do it, but I think for a majority of us it's difficult because you want to be a part of the people that everyone likes, right? It was a thing in high school. It may be different now, but back in my day that was kind of the thing. Back in my day, am I seriously at that age already? Whoa, I'm making myself feel old. But anyway, that was kind of the thing, you know, and then there was like this movement or a revolution, if you want to go be that dramatic. It was kind of a movement about, you know, you don't have to fit in. You can be yourself. You can be different. You don't have to fit inside a specific box anymore. You know, it was a movement. Be unique, be yourself, be you. You do you. You know, that whole thing. It was a hashtag, it was a movement. It was a revolution, you know, and a good one, I would say, because yeah, let's teach people to, you know, accept who they are at their core. Like, yes, we may do things to improve ourselves or better ourselves, but at our core, we are who we are, and some things just don't change. Like, you know, your core values, your core beliefs, how you grew up, things like that will form permanent parts of who you are. Some things you may change or better to improve your own life or something like that, but there are things about us that stay the same. And you know, this movement told us that that's good. You know, you should embrace the parts of yourself that are unique, be different, you do you. It was a good movement. But are we actually just still living in one big high school? Because think about it. This is what I've been struggling with. This is what I've been thinking about. I'm getting to the meat of the story now, if you will. It's what I've been struggling to kind of grasp, is that there was this whole movement telling us that you don't have to fit into a specific box. You can be different, you can be unique, you can be you. You don't have to fit in with the cool kids, you know, if you want to relate it back to that analogy that I made about high school. But it's like we actually never left high school. Because in a way, we're still being told that you can be different, but you can only be different in specific ways. It's like there's a box within which you can be different and you'll be accepted. And then if you're different in a way that is outside of that box, then you're kind of just like, it's so bad that you're just a bad person at that point. And it's harsh, but that's kind of the reality. If you look at social media and things like that, it's like, be different, be yourself, but here are the limits within which you can be yourself. And if you're different or yourself in anything other than this, you're just a bad person. And it may not necessarily be that you're actually a bad person. I mean, there are things that we can all agree are morally wrong, but it can just be a slight deviation from what this is, and you're suddenly just a bad person, you know? So there's still the cool kids. The cool kids are telling you, be different, be yourself, but only in the ways we allow you to be different. You can be different, but this is how you can be different. You need to be different in the right way. If you're different in a way that we don't like, you're a bad person. So we left high school, but we never actually left high school. And it's worse now because of social media. And I know I've talked about social media a lot, but it's a big part of everyone's lives now. So I think it should be a part of the conversation. And yes, I've mentioned in previous videos, there are positives to social media. I have mentioned this, but like right now it's not exactly looking great, because it's the same. We're following trends, following hashtags. You know, if you do a certain hashtag on TikTok, you're going to get a lot of views. If you do a certain trend on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, you're going to get a lot of views, a lot of likes. I'm guilty myself. I'm not even going to, excuse myself. You use the hashtag, or you do the TikTok dance or whatever, because you're going to get a lot of views. But the world, did this whole thing where it was, we want you to be different. We don't want you to fit in. Like, forget about the trying to fit in with the cool kids in high school. You're in the big world now. You can be yourself. And then they tell you how to be yourself. Isn't it weird? I don't know. I've been struggling with this thought. It's like, you're telling me I can be myself. I can be different. But if I'm different in a way that you don't agree with, I become the bad guy in the story. Even if I have done nothing wrong, I'm just different in a way that you don't like, then I'm suddenly a bad person. Like, I don't understand. We're basically stuck in one big high school. That is what the world is right now. In my opinion, once again, it's something that I've just been noticing. Like, you can't be different in a way that the majority doesn't agree with. Or I don't even want to say the majority. It's such a weird phrase. It's not exactly what... It's just a trend. You know, another trend that I've been seeing. Like, there's this box within which you are allowed to be different. If you're different in any other way, then you're a bad person. So, in some way, we never left high school. There are still the cool kids, and they still have their own rules. And if you want to fit in, you can be different. You can be yourself. As long as you do it the way we want you to. It's weird. It's basically high school on a much bigger scale. If you've noticed this, tell me in the comments. If I'm just insane, you tell me that too. But I have been noticing this, and it's something that it's weird. On the one side, you're telling people, you know, be yourself, be different, be unique. But if you are yourself in a way that we don't like, you're a bad person. Here are the rules to being yourself. Isn't being yourself supposed to not have rules? You know? I'm not talking about like laws. Laws are laws. That's not what I'm referring to. Like, I'm not saying, you know, murdering people is okay, but I'm just saying, like, there are certain ways in which people want you to be different. And if you're just slightly different in like a slightly other way, then you're a bad person. So we're essentially all still stuck in high school, where there's still the cool kids telling you that you should be different and you should be yourself, but in the way we want you to. So yeah, guys, in my opinion, my perspective, we're all stuck in one big high school. And, you know, even though now most of our brains are fully developed, a lot of us are still trying to fit into the cool kid box, which is fine, but it's not that, oh, you're just gonna have to find another group to hang out with at school. Now it is, you're gonna be shunned from society because you're now a bad person just for being yourself in a way that they don't like. It's something I've been thinking about and something I thought I'd share. You guys are free to comment your thoughts about this and tell me how you feel. Do you relate to anything I said? Do you think I'm insane? You know, comment anything down below what you think about it. But that is my story for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and hopefully I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great day.